Hi, I'm Rowan.
And I'm Calvin.
And you're watching episode 23 of season 2 of In the Zone. Today we're going to be discussing the Twilight Zone episode 100 Yards Over the Rim, and we are going to be spoiling the entire thing, so you should check it out beforehand if you don't want it spoiled for you ahead of time.
Hulu, Netflix, IMDb.
We are in the Old West in 1847. All these people, this group of people,
Right.
are heading to California.
Horse cars are big.
They're called wagons.
Wagons, whatever.
Horse cars.
I called it a horse car.
There's a sick boy.
Well, actually, no. There's this guy.
What do you mean, actually,
his
no?
Hamster, and then I'm like, but the hamster's actually a boy's head.
You thought it was a hamster?
Yes, I did. I genuinely did.
Very interesting.
I was really confused.
So the main guy is Christian Horn, and everyone's sort of like, giving
weird.
up, except
It's
for
like-
him. He's still determined to go to
so
California.
old-timey because they call him Chris. I feel like it's not like a thing that people did like in the 1840s.
Oh, yeah, they all want to turn back, but he says they're too far now, and he's like, I'm gonna find water and food and medicine somewhere. Oh, look, there's a rim, whatever that is.
So,
Like a big hill type thing. He's like, I'll go over there, see what's there. So he goes, and he sees a road,
and telephone poles!
Yeah!
And
What? Fade to black.
Whoa!
By the way, he has like a big old-timey gun. So then we come up, he goes to the road, almost gets run over by a truck.
He's like, that's a monster. What is that monster?
There's way too much of him just walking around like...
He sees a sign that
For Joe's
says,
Air Flight Cafe.
and gas station.
So he goes, and this guy comes, who is in this, who's also in this movie called The Devil's Messenger, that we should probably watch sometime. I have it. And what happened? It's like an anthology movie. So what happens is it's like 3 different Twilight Zone episodes. It's very Twilight Zone-y. And so this guy is the devil, and he's like in hell, you know, saying, "Okay, go, you're good." And then this woman comes. Her name is Satania, and he's like, "Oh, you can be my messenger." And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Well, we haven't had as many people coming in as we usually do, so you can have these magical objects that will turn people evil, and then more people will come." And so yeah, and that's how it goes. So he's in one of the stories.
Oh, I like
He gets an evil camera, and then he like
Getting off
murders.
topic.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
that's what we do on In the Zone. So then, anyways, the point is that this guy's like, "Hey, I'm Joe." I'm guessing he's Joe of Joe's Air Flight
Hey,
Cafe.
I'm Blackie.
Chris is like, "Did you see the monster?"
He's like,
And the guy's like, "You mean the
What?
truck?"
truck? Yeah, the truck.
So then Chris is talking about his journey, how he has wagon and
Yeah.
stuff. Naturally,
By the
Joe
sun.
finds this a little bit weird.
He's like, why don't you come inside?
Right, and he notices like bleeding on his hand because he like fell
He's
when
like,
he almost
well,
got hit by
where's
the
the
truck.
doctor? Let me fix that up.
He's a nurse's assistant.
Same difference.
Well, I mean, it's a couple degrees of separation from a doctor, but
But then,
she turns out to be Mary Lou, and she is really annoying.
it's just her voice. I don't think-
Well, yeah, she's not like an annoying person, but wow, yeah, her voice is annoying. She gives him a glass of water, and does the classic Twilight Zone sloppy water drinking.
Dribbles, 'cause he's all
Classic.
thirsty.
Water. So they talk about stuff that doesn't matter. It's like, oh, how long have you been here? Oh, who cares? Doesn't matter. Just filler. And he's sort of walking around the cafe like, oh, and so, and then notices a jukebox. Whoa, I don't know what that is, because I'm an old man. It's like, oh, yeah, I was looking for water. And the other guy's like, well, there's a natural spring. And he's like, whoa, that's good to know. So Mary Lou gives him some pills, and it's penicillin. He's like, what is that? Chris is like, whoa, I have a sick boy back in the wagon, because she talks about how it can cure illnesses. And he's like, well, maybe this would help him. And then he's like, wait a minute, there's a wagon on that calendar. It's like an old-timey painting.
And it's like
And then
him.
it's the
It
calendar.
looks like him on the thing.
Doesn't specifically look like him.
That's the point. That's what he's.
It looks like the idea of him in a wagon
And
on the
he's
trail.
like, whoa! And then he goes down and he sees the date.
September 1961. He's like, how could that be that when it's 1847? And then he walks away. He's like, what? Who did I do? And then fade to black. Oh wait, I forgot to mention, important. When he's talking about how it's 1847, she drops the thing of penicillin. Glass break, glass break. We got ourselves a glass break.
Glass break, glass break. Glass. break.
So then we fade to black. Come on, they got a doctor, and he's out there, and he's like, the dude is malnutrition.
But he's like,
his
delusions are very detailed.
Yeah, yes, he's more fascinated by his mental stuff and how much he knows about his imaginary life, how he knows all the details. And he's like, also, worth mentioning, he has these old-timey type tooth fillings that you cannot get nowadays. A little bit weird, a little bit weird.
Weird.
If they were so desperate to, fill up the episode, why didn't we just have a scene where the doctor's talking to him, and he's like, whoa, I'm amazed at how much he knows. Then he sees the old-timey tooth fillings. Fade to black. That would be interesting, more interesting than, oh, well, we moved here 2 years ago. We were living in Phoenix, Arizona, but I married her, and then I worked for her father, and now it's not doing great business, but So then he's also talking about how he talked about his son. And the doctor's like, based on what he said, I guess he has pneumonia. The doctor calls the sheriff. He's like, we gotta take care of this guy, because maybe he has, mental issues, and, we need to figure this stuff out.
But then what's his name? Chris comes out, and he's like...
an encyclopedia.
And he's like, it's his son.
Yeah, it talks about his son, Christian Horn Jr., MD, who was a doctor, and he was, innovative in, curing diseases, and that's what? That's weird. And so, he's like, I'm gonna leave, says Chris.
I'm gonna be important. But he's like, no, wait, the police are coming. You gotta stay.
And he's like, nope. And then the other guy, Joe, tries to stop it, and then he hits him with the gun, takes the thing of penicillin, and runs. And then the police come.
Down the road, the police comes. He goes up the
rim, they're about to get him, but then he's up the rim, other side of the rim, and then he's in the past, and then the people are gone, the police.
And then he sees the carriages again.
Wagons. He goes down to his wife, Martha, who's a good actress. Very small part, but she does it really well. And she's like, you just left a few seconds ago, what did we forget?
Yeah.
Gives her the penicillin.
It's like,
and
these will cure him right up.
So then another guy who's on the wagon, he's like, yeah, nothing much on the other side. And he's like, there's a whole lot on the other side. It's a whole new land. There are people like us, and we made it happen. We paved the way for them.
Roads.
So then, meanwhile,
okay, no.
there are cops at the cafe, and they're like, we'll get him. Just you see. Then they drive away. The guy, Joe, has the gun, and all of a sudden, it's all old, and it's, falling apart.
It's like he rips a piece off.
Yeah, and they're like, that is weird. Where the heck did that guy come from? Then, meanwhile,
back in 1847.
Yeah. They're like, we're going to California, yay, let's go. And then they leave.
Da, 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 yeah.
The coolest thing about this is this sort of idea. And it's like, you've seen Back to the Future, right?
Yeah, I've seen all three.
Okay. So in the first one, he's playing Johnny Be Good. Marvin Berry, Chuck Berry's cousin, R.I.P., he's like, listen to this. And then in the past, Chuck Berry makes that song, so then Marty McFly hears it later. So it was like, who really invented the song, It's the same thing with penicillin. He has it in the present, but when he gives it to the boy, it's like that boy discovered penicillin. And then that's how it gets to the present. I think it's very interesting, and they do it in a really subtle way. And I think that's very cool.
What's it called? Paradox.
Yes. Not a lot happens in the episode, I feel like. Too little happens. He goes, wanders around, gets the penicillin, leaves, gives it to the boy. It's sort of low on action.
I sort of stay interested, but whatever.
Yeah, it flies by. It really does.
It's a Twilight Zone episode. It's not like it's
Yeah, it's not like a movie. Can you imagine a movie of this?
Oh gosh.
Overall, it's not that good, but it's it's pretty interesting. It's not that interesting, actually. There are some interesting elements, but overall it's like, ooh, I'm a past man in the present. How weird.
The idea was interesting, but at the same time it was like, there's already other Twilight Zone episodes there.
What idea?
The whole, you're in the past and you go to the present.
Yeah.
And it's like, a bunch of, it's like, whoa, what's going on here?
They did that very well in, Execution. Remember where there was a cowboy, he's on the big city?
I love
that one's awesome.
That was a good one.
It's a lot more fun than this one. There's not really too much to say about this. Acting, good.
Yeah. Alright, so now you want to give it a rating?
Sure. It's a 6.
A 6 out of 10. Okay. Alright. Ready for my rating?
Yeah, there's really nothing more you have to say about it. What did you think of it?
I thought it was okay. I guess I like the idea of the plot. I don't know.
But it doesn't really...
Too much filler, I guess.
I mean, besides the whole penicillin thing, it doesn't really put too much of a twist on it. It's sort of just the same old
it's
thing.
just the same old... Yeah, true. I guess it's still somehow interesting. I give it... 10 out of 10. No, I'm just kidding.
You know, you never know.
I give it 7.5. That's a real rating.
Okay. Well, you know what? Next week, we're going to be talking about the Rip Van Winkle caper. Maybe that'll create some stronger emotions within us. More disagreement, just overall more interesting, I hope. That's what you like to see on In the Zone. So I hope you join us then.